Yes, hello. My name is Michael Lewis, and I'm the pastor of Yahuwah Yahusha House of Prayer. I was asked to do this little mini video to enlighten you of who I am. I was abused at a very young age, 6 years old, by a teenage girl and her mom. And from that, I had a hatred toward my mom because she wasn't there to protect me when I went through foster care. The hatred that I had was that I wouldn't kiss her, I wouldn't hug her. I had sisters. I didn't do nothing to them. I just didn't like being around them. But somewhere between 6 and 14, I went down south to visit my grandma, and she showered me with all kind of love that I couldn't refrain from. So it changed my thinking somewhat. So when I come back to California, uh, a little girl hooked up with me, and we did whatever we done. And from that moment on, but this girl was so, how you say, more manly, and she handled me like I was a woman, throwing me on the bed, throwing me on the floor, snatching my clothes off. So as I grew up, I figured this was the type of woman that I wanted. So I began pursuing aggressive women. Well, my mom always instilled in us growing up, my grandma as well, not to put your hands on a woman. Well, what ended up happening is because women knew that I were not going to put hands back on them, that it became a problem. They began slapping me, punching me. A couple of times got stuck with a knife, cut my arm, my hand, was trying to carve out my chest. And but the problem was it was something that I was looking for out of them. But as I began to grow older and I got my life back into the house of God and I began to research and study, fast and pray, that he revealed to me the toxicity came from within. It was what I was pursuing. It was what I was looking for. And because of that, it was the kind of women that I began looking for. I became one of the best basketball players in West Oakland because of the relationships, the toxic relationships I had. I would leave them mad, upset. I would go to Lowell Park, the infirmary. I would go up to McClymonds High School, whatever, Bushrod, Emeryville. It didn't make a difference wherever I went. I would take it out on whoever was guarding me on the hoop. This is how I became such an outstanding ball player. But there was other factors that stopped me from going to the NBA. But I did play pro. That's irrelevant. We're talking about toxic relationships. So I'm a advocate for justice. I'm an advocate for human life, human rights. And also for the domestic violence. I did several documentaries while I was at Delta College, and one of the documentaries I done was called Domestic Violence. And I'm gonna show a small clip of a young lady that she jumps up and she began telling her story after watching the domestic violence clip that I had done, the documentary. And when she gets up to talk about her life, man, there were all kind of red flags that not only went up in me, but it went up into some of the women that stuck around, that was able to allow me to film them. Now, mind you, the whole classroom was full of women. But when I told them I was going into this particular segment, a lot of them scrambled up out of the room and didn't want to be videotaped. But this young lady right here volunteered. I didn't ask her to tell her story. She ran up there. And because of that, I got somewhat disciplined on the campus. And you'll see the ending of my video. It shuts off, but I'm not going to watch the whole thing. So here's that clip that I'm talking about. Listen.
We have 4 children, 3 daughters, and 1 son. It happened in 1998, a long time ago. He's been in prison all this time. And he still has like 2 more years before he gets out of prison. Actually, 2 or 3 more years. But even when I get into an elevator, I feel afraid because I'm afraid of the doors to close, And it's so difficult to remember. I just remember him throwing coffee in my face. And I do love
Now she's telling the story of how her husband abused her, beat her, threw coffee in her face. He even bust out her eye socket. Didn't bust it out, but he damaged her orbital bone where the eye socket lies. Left her for dead. And she's talking about being back with this guy. And see, she's saying her daughter don't want to talk to the guy. But I'm going to fast forward to where you could see.
Your daughter's 21 now. My daughter's 21 now, but she doesn't want to talk to me about it. I don't know. I never seen anything like that happen. I just remember him threatening to break my teeth, throwing me against the wall. But kind of like with the...
Busting her teeth, throwing her against the wall. Now listen at this part.
At the same time,
They never change.
I don't think that will soon. But that's the end of my story.
Why do you feel like you stopped to be with this man and constantly, kind of like he's protector, you're protecting him? Why do you feel like you have to
Well,
protect
when you love someone, like that song that says, if there is a thin line between love and hate. And that's exactly how it is, because there is.
Now she says it's a thin line between love and hate. Fast forward a little more.
When you do, or they talk. My one daughter only see him once, so they're still. I don't know. All I know is that I am thankful for him. That he's rehabilitated.
She said he has rehabilitated after he left her for dead.
I am thankful for that. But
Can I interject?
Now that's me talking.
We have a young lady in here today, sitting right there.
Kanye Montgomery, the lady in the front.
Kanye Montgomery. And her story was the last story that I played. And if you was listening, she was going through some of the same thing you're going through right now. She was in denial, even though this guy appeared at one time very huggable, very lovable. He was her knight in shining armor, as she said. But as time progressed, his true colors began to manifest. And in the documentary, there's a mistake that was made because she gave me some pictures. And I gave it to the guy that edited the footage. He didn't put the pictures in to show what he done to her. It was pictures, she showed, where he burnt on the jaw and cut the cheek, but the eyes, where it was busted. Like you said, he busted your socket. Well, he's in prison now. He's the best rehabilitated person there can be, because he can't be.
but they don't want to let him out.
Right, but he's a predator in the prison. He has nobody to prey on in the prison. Once the door opens up and he comes home, everything that has lied dormant now is awakened. A lot of people go to prison and they become super religious. And so there you have it. I was sharing with the young lady that, most predators, when they go to prison, they don't have nobody to prey on because they're locked up. But as soon as they come back home to you that's dating them type of cats, you that love them bad boys, they'll promise you, oh, I'm not going to hit you no more. I'm not going to put hands on you no more. But that's just a lie. Unless they get the help needed, one, by God, or they go to two, to get mental help, or three, go to counseling. No, they're going to continue to put hands on you till that day the mistake is made that they end up taking your life. Michael Lewis, Watchman, on the Wall.